Hello, welcome to Chop Talk Uganda, the educators' dialogue, where we amplify teacher voices and share raw experiences. Today, I am hosting gentlemen who are going to share with us their university experiences. And I hope at the end of our session, it is going to be an encouragement to the freshmen and women at the university. Gentlemen on my immediate right, please introduce yourself and tell us about your week.
Lillian, thank you for hosting me here and the team. I'm in your Pius Opio. You asked about the week. It has been a long week with lots of things to attend to, but I'm happy that it has been positive. We have attended to a couple of them and looking forward to a more positive end. Yeah.
Okay. Can you pass the microphone to the next person?
Yeah, thank you, Lillian, for having me here on the show. And to our viewers, my name is Semakula Noah. And my week has really been a good week. I've eaten a couple of weddings, celebrations. I've also had to celebrate some of my students entering into university. And it's really been a good week for me. Good week so far.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Yes, the gentleman right next to Noah.
Thank you, Lillian, for hosting us today. I'm Pata Sedulach, and my week started so well. One of the highlights I had some good time to go and visit my people back in the village, and it really stands out as one of the highlights of the week. Here we are today, and I'm hoping the best throughout the week.
Thank you so much for sharing about your week. And today we are going to just flash back into our lives as university students. You're giving us a male perspective. What are some of those experiences that you had when you first entered university?
Thank you. I think I should roll the ball. I know Pio is looking at me and Shedrak as well. University experiences is really, I would say, well-timed. And thank you for being thoughtful about this. Usually when we send students into university, we think it's a place they are going for a smooth ride, usually. And we think all is done. They are now adults and all that. But starting with my experience, close to 2 decades back at university, I know things have not changed so much. The challenges haven't changed so much, and the experiences. First of all, as I rolled into university, I thought university was going to be like my new secondary school. Only that this is a secondary school where I was independent and celebrating independence. And had been conditioned differently while in high school. There was a bell, there is somebody cooking for me, food, there are all these things. There is the carrot and stick, do's, don'ts, and all that. Now I enter university. Day one, I get in. First thing that really challenged me was I wasn't seeing pit latrines anywhere. And I really was feeling so hard asking people, man, where are pit latrines? I didn't want to look like this typical villager. I wanted to really be this cool guy, they know it all. But I didn't know this place. But of course, biology really pushed so much. And I had to really tap on a neighbor and I told him, man, where are the places of convenience in this place? And this man tells me, okay, every building you see has a place of convenience in it. And of course, showed me to one of those. Another early on challenge was lunch. I expected a bell. I had been conditioned to a bell. I thought somebody was supposed to ring a bell. But still, hunger got the best of me, and I asked this person. Actually, this person, we are really good friends now. He's a big man, some university now, but we are tight friends. out of this. So he tells me, no, you time your lunch. Your watch is your bell. I wasn't a person of watches, but from this challenge I learned, like, okay, my watch is my bell. I'm my own timekeeper. And I told myself, welcome to university. So that was my earlier experience out there.
Thank you, Noah, for that experience, because I know it was an awakening to the reality that it is not as glamorous as expected. And I can see Pius excited to tell us about what day one felt like. He could have worse. Okay,
I want to also add on your voice to
Yeah.
thank Noah for giving us that toilet experience. So Noah, thank you for that. I think I'll first mention my university, Sitema University. I entered university, I think, pretty at a younger age. And my thoughts, I knew university was a free style place. The attire I'd bought for use. I had only one trouser, had jeans. I forgot the course I was going to do. About the course I was going to do, I think had pretty long hair. So I thought of that life back in senior 6 towards the end of that course. We're there jumping up and down, preparing for university life, knowing that it's a free zone, you can do whatever you want. However, life was a little bit different. The realities were different. On reaching, and one early morning, we are going in for lectures, and I see second year and third year students dressed well in suits, tucking in shirts, long sleeve shirts, and I'm like, I should be in the wrong place. I had to remember the course I was doing. One was education, becoming a teacher. So that's how things were. And then I would say I had some levels of confidence on my end, because when I went, I knew what I wanted. The course, of course, I wanted that same course. However, the kind of life that I was going to live, I'd already predetermined it. However, the finances could not allow. The finances could not allow some
What was
levels.
the predetermined lifestyle?
They had some, as I mentioned, the issue of the hairstyle, the closet has a bit set. Only to reach there, I'm put into a hall that I'm supposed to be in with 4+ people. Actually, I was the youngest in that room, and were 4. 3 of them were married. The conversations that we're having, it's about their families. They have time to call. To me, it was a little bit not good. And I'll tell you that I spent much of my time out of that room, because now whatever they were doing wasn't matching what I wanted. But what humbled me, of course, was also you can't be a big person without money. Yeah, so I had to be humble. Yeah. So maybe that's it. As a startup, that's what I can begin with.
Thank you so much for sharing the expectations and yet unfulfilled. Yeah, okay, Shadrach, do you mind breaking it down for us?
Yeah, thank you, Lydia. He went to Sitema University, I went to Chambogo University. And I think for the time I've been in schools, I've been fortunate but unfortunate that I've almost been always the youngest in my classes. So several times, even when I was at campus, I could think I am too young even in classes, and sometimes I could want to do things for for children in at the university. And I think when I went at the university, one of the things they used to say that it was not an easy thing, or it was not good to be taken to the guild council. But for me, I was looking up to being taken to the guild council for having done something wrong. I was this kind of naughty.
You expected punishment.
Yes.
Or the disciplinary committee.
Disciplinary committee. So of that kind, because in the first place, I didn't want to become a teacher, and I was praying so hard
To be just.
that I'm not even given to be a teacher at the university. Now here I am given to be a teacher, and I have no other option other than doing things that I may be wrong, so that I am chased away from school. So this time round, remember, you were fresh at campus. So what I did is, at a certain point, we were moving, and of course there is no trespass at the campus.
Mm-hmm.
Now me, I said I'm going to trespass, and I want to see what they will do. Yes. So I move and I run very fast. I jump over the live fence, and then I am called to the guild council, but I wasn't respectful, because I was looking up to something, you know, and as a younger one who was just going to the university, sometimes I wasn't even very sure of what I want to be, especially with the course that I was taking on. I didn't like it, though right now it's my I believed it was my calling, and I do whatever I can to, you know. So it was kind of a hard experience for me as a person, because I had to work on my mindset, first of all, to accept that I am at the university. I have grown into now a person who has to be independent, as everyone has been talking about it, though it was kind of hard for me to really learn to do that. So I can say it was quite a hard experience for me personally to teach myself to adapt to the university life. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your insights from the expectation to be expelled, from the timing of the bell, lunch bell, to dress code. What about the lecture experience? Because usually at the university, there's always those induction processes that have to happen, regardless. As long as you are a fresher, they have to induct you, and induction is sometimes some kind of bullying. So did any of you encounter such challenges?
In my experience, there was some bullying. I'll give an example of what really happened back then. I am from Makerere University, and this is a university which is surrounded by more than one slum. You have Katanga, you have Chikone, then you have Bwaise, then you have Makerere Chivuru. Now, the university is in the middle of those. And by then, Makerere did not have a fence, a well-erected fence. So what happened was these crooks could get suits, and they were really well groomed. You could think these are lecturers. Now, Guy finds us in a lecture room and writes a simple question there and says, you answer that very fast, 20 minutes. We rush through writing. Guy says, collect all books. We collect obediently. Guy packs books. It was Mark II. Guy packs books. Guy drives off. A few minutes later, someone comes in, says, he is the lecturer. And we're like, but we've just given the doctor our books. I felt that was really bullying because remember, you've just bought these fancy books of yours. It's about 25,000. These show books. Somebody has taken it. I really felt very bullied. I really felt so bullied. So that really was my bullying experience out there.
Welcome to university.
Yeah, it was.
I was wondering, as if I was about to ask, that you guys were using counter books
No.
at university.
What were you using in your?
I think at least by the time I was, of course, it could connect with the story of the toilet using counter books. I was wondering at universities people still use counter books. But that is the experience.
Not the counter books.
Oh, yeah. On my end,
Yeah.
I'm trained as a teacher of IT, ICT and mathematics. So when it came to lectures, using of computer was part of it and highly welcome. Much as I didn't have my secondary life exposure to computers, I had to train myself into it. It was a much rewarding experience. I have less to talk about my lecture experiences because I was more into these other social aspects of the university. And the lectures, actually, they were not primary, they were secondary to me. But from what I experienced in lecture, the bullying wasn't there. The bullying was there. The environment was so welcoming, I must say. We were very few in our classroom, in our class. The environment set around was so supportive. So lecturers were positive because some of them were assistant lecturers and they were former students, so they wouldn't swell, becomes boast and so high because some of the undergraduates know about their life and experiences, even the community around. Yeah, so they were so calm, they were so humble, they were ready to support. Maybe one thing that I remember that from that is me with afternoon lectures. Those ones I never really attended them because afternoon I had to go into my socials most of the afternoon. So yeah, but basically I would say the bullying wasn't there, and I was in the right university.
Oh, you were lucky, Mr.
Yeah.
Mpata. Did you encounter any bullying at one point?
Yes and no, because being that I was a small boy at the university, many would wish to bully me, but I also went when I was sure I'm going to find the people who would wish to bully me because of my size and all that. So I actually couldn't allow that to happen. And I think in as much as at a certain point I said I didn't like the course I was going to do, I was a darling to most of my lecturers. So it really helped me so much. I didn't like to go for lectures, but I was forced to attend all the lectures because most of the lecturers, as soon as the lecturer reaches class, has to ask for Mpata. I remember one of my greatest lecturers called Mrs. Mugua. This lady, whenever she could reach the lecture room, she asks, where is Mpata? And like people had to look for where Mpata is before the lecture starts. So they now started knowing that now this one is a darling to many of the lecturers. But the most important thing was that I also went ready for anyone who would wish to bully me, regardless of the size that I was actually having at that moment. So I wouldn't say I experienced it as such. Yeah.
You were lucky. And given the circumstances in that time, some of you are decades backwards in relation to the university experience. looking at the pressure and the dynamics of how things are changing, do you think teenagers out there, the majority of them are cross to university while they're still teenagers and transitioning into the youth stage, do you think with the dynamic changes, they're able to handle the pressure that is coming from being in university?
I think they have no choice, I would say. They cannot come back to secondary school. They are in university. So what happens is that first you have to survive, then you have to adapt some things, then you have to adapt into this. Like going to Pius's hall experience. You've been assigned a hall. It's not your parents that will assign you that. It's the warden, it's the university, or your hostel, your warden and all that will say you're going to room 6. Man, you'll go to room 6. It's not your home. So you must change, and you must change very fast. Otherwise, dropping out is a reality. If you cannot change, if you're used to particular conditioning, you're used to pampering, and now you're here, you're independent, you must know that independence comes with a cost. It comes at a cost. And you must be willing to bear the cost. University is not something about only the course units you do, the content, the skilling. There is the hidden curriculum. It's covering most of your university experience. You're going to meet this, you're going to meet several social groups, and you'll have to choose your group. There will be groups that will tell you, for me, I would love to have an STD, which is a sexually transmitted degree, and it's a group. It's aiming at that. Another group will be ready to copy in exams. That will be a group. Another one will be a group of the social, like the social club. Those ones, first week, they are moving with their admissions in envelopes to nightclubs and all that. Ladies' night, free campus night, and all those. They are moving with them. You show that, and you. So, your independence, you choose what you do with it. That's the biggest part of what university teaches you, away from the content and the skilling that is within the known curriculum.
Okay.
There's something that annoys me. You forgot to mention we have these characters who remind lecturers that we have not given us coursework. I think that's something that these freshers could know. It's not your duty to remind the lecturers. It's their job. They know what to do. Now, as you mentioned, the hidden curriculum, I think that's, I imagine that that's covered into that, what I've just mentioned about. You don't know people that you're studying with. Some are already employed. Some have families. For you, a teenager, you were waiting for daddy and mommy to give you, and then you're here piling pressure on people. Yes, it is okay. It's good that for you are work. Everyone is there with a hidden mission of being at university. Some of them are looking for papers. They already have jobs secured. Some people are taking care of their children. Now you come in with your pressure. I'll tell you of one experience. Actually, I met one of my OBs from the university. I was into the guild council. Now we just came from a guild meeting in a different campus. We arrived. It was a distance, I think over almost 50 kilometers apart. We have come. And then the guy comes to my bed and tells me, you know what, Pius, tomorrow we are having a test. I was like, Joel, get serious. I have guild work to do. Again, you're bringing test. When do we discuss about this test in the lecture room? I will not say, I mentioned some ugly word to him. And then I went for the test. That test, I think I must confess I failed because I never prepared much of my attention, but I put the blame on him because they organized for something that I wasn't ready for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, clearly, with the university experience, as Noah was telling us, that you are your own person. You make the decisions, you make the effort, and at the end of the day, it is about you and what you desire. What advice would you tell your younger self if you are in fresh year?
Uh, I think I'll just base on what Vince Semakola was just saying. When we go to the universities, definitely the choice is yours. You do not have your parent there. You do not have any relative to keep hunting for you. So you have to decide whether you go for the lectures or not. Whether you keep sleeping, whether you go clubbing and do what, the choice is yours. So my advice would just be, as the freshers, they go to the campuses, they just have to make right choices. Let them know what they actually want at the university, because the moment you know what you want, it always keeps you moving. It pushes you to move. I gave you my experience that at a certain point when I realized I have to be a teacher, now I had to work so hard to see that I not only qualify as a teacher, but I excellently qualify at the university. So that would be my advice. Let them discover themselves. Know that the future does not belong to the parents or the relatives who sent them there, but it always belongs to them. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pata. And Enyo or Noah, who's ready?
I would advise, I think, okay. Speaking from experience, one thing that I thank my parents, they allowed us go through experiences of our age. So when I was at university, so I came from a home whereby you would do things depending on your age. So for me, my freshers life all through the third year, it was, I think, okay, given my age and my interest and all that, though there are some mistakes all there. What I would tell a fresher joining university who will join is that university prepares us for adult life. And once we pick those lessons, you've seen many people say that adulthood is not part of our curriculum. But if you handle the university life so well, networking, relationships, getting that skill at the university helps you a lot. I'll use myself still. I'm so comfortable and you teaching IT because of what I did. I went beyond the theoretical bit of it. I learned the other bits of it, the practical bit of it so well. And so when I came into professional work, right into internship, I was able to do things that some employees could not do, including computer repair, both hardware and software. But I learned that I had that attitude right from being a fresher. So let us go with a positive mind. It is a stage that everyone has to go through. Nothing like you're looked at as a young person, you're being prepared as an adult in our country.
Okay, thank you so much for that advice.
Okay, thank you,
Yes.
Lilian. Could be to the people in university, basing on my experience as a freshman at university throughout my life there as an undergraduate, is that you should make the right choices. Some of the choices you're going to make at the university are going to be life choices. Some of these are going to be choices that you'll stick with to your grave. I'll give an example. While at university, I was in politics. I was a member of the Uganda Young Democrats, and at the same time, I was in Inkoba Zambogo. And these were really dangerous societies to be in. At the time, they were really very dangerous. They were known for strikes. They were known for organizing all clandestine activity against university administration. And But there are things I learned from this. It's from these that, for example, I learned that the person next to you may be your biggest enemy. Because I had people I laughed with, people I ate with, and these were people that were within the intelligence community. People that could, by a click of a finger, cause you to be picked up anytime. Also, there were groups that I saw, groups that I used to discuss for some of them. These are groups that had ladies that could tell you openly. For me, no problem with sex for marks. Actually, I've seen people saying the lecturers run after this. No lecturer runs after students. No one, because I've not seen anyone running after students to try and rape them. These are learners that will plan this before, and then they will go. No, it's not. I was dealing with ladies in my group, and I was the group leader, and I was the only male in there. And they could tell you about the plans they have for marks. If the copying fails, this is what we shall do. And this is the picture I see in them up to today, because I know who slept with whom. So this is something I see. Many of them have really become very important people, and with very important social lives, some very important political and economic lives, but still that dent stays back. So some of the choices you make as an independent person will stick with you. So as you make a choice, think through it, research about the choice you've made, be ready to own it.
Thank you so much, our guest today. Your stories are stories of resilience, focus, and hard work. And to you, our viewers, especially the university freshmen and women, university, yes, is a free zone, but it does not necessitate us to think everything there is free. It comes at a cost, and the cost could be a lifetime cost. Let's continue the conversation on our social platforms, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We would love to hear your stories. What was your university experience? Until next time, bye-bye. See you in our next episode.